Hello everybody, welcome to another MSc land training video. You will need weights, light weights for the lower squads, heavier weights if you have them for the elites. If you don't have any weights, jars of food will do. You'll also need a mat or a towel and some water. As you can see, 1 minute of each exercise, 6 exercises per circuit, 6 circuits. Okay, let's crack on with the warm-up. As in the real world, we're going to start with the warm-up. Approximately 30 seconds per exercise. Okay, going to start with jogging on the spot. Throughout the warm-up, you want to still be able to hold a conversation with someone, so it's that kind of pace and effort. Moving on to butt kicks. And back to jogging again. And then we are moving to high knees. Really pick up your knees, pump your arms if it helps. Try and keep those high knees going for the whole 30 seconds. You can see I did struggle though. And then we're back to just jogging on the spot after that. And it wouldn't be warm up without jumping jacks. And back to jogging again. And side steps. I'll warm up the inner thighs. And back to jogging for one more time. Well done. Should feel nice and warmed up now. Go and grab a drink and get ready for the first circuit. Here's our first list of exercises. Here we go. Whole minute of these, please. Try and maintain the same pace all the way through and the same intensity for the entire minute. Just want to keep moving for the whole time. Okay, next one. Streamline squat jumps. Get those arms up above your head. Okay, keep the legs slightly wider than hip width apart. Make sure you bend your legs when you land. Keep the arms above your head throughout. I know a minute feels a long time, but keep it going best you can. I clearly had a little tea break in the middle there. Don't do that. Okay, next one. Press-ups. Absolute brilliant for swimmers, please. Keep them going. Make sure your hands are in line with your shoulders, slightly wider than your mat or your towel. Try and keep your body as flat as you can and at least start on your toes. I know minutes are a long time. If you have to, about halfway through, feel free to drop to your knees, but do try and do a few full body versions. Rightio, reverse flies. You'll need to tilt forwards under the hip. Lift your arms almost straight. You want to be squeezing your shoulder blades together. Hopefully my different views are helping you get a good idea of what I would be looking for if we were all together in person. These will work your lats. I'm sure you all know how important they are in swimming, regardless of your best stroke. Okie dokie, donkey kicks next. You'll need to be on all fours to start these. Here we go. So you're kicking up to the sky or the ceiling. Legs at 90-degree angle. You want to squeeze your bottom as you kick up. Remember, keep your toe pulled towards your shin. And don't forget to do both sides. As we have 2 legs. Final exercise of the circuit, staying on the floor, Russian twists. So you need to start off balancing on your bottom, feet off the floor, and twist from side to side. Don't swing though, you want to be purposeful in your movements. If you find you're having some pressure or pain in your lower back, then feel free to drop your heels to the floor. Do remember to take your shoulders and head with you. Hopefully you can see that in my demonstration. Yay, first tea break. Have a little drink, get your breath back, and get ready for circuit 2. Okay, here's our list for circuit 2. Nothing too tricky. Okay, high knees. Pump your arms, get the knees as high as you can. So really get your heart rate going. And obviously you want to try and maintain the height for the whole minute if you can. If you weren't starting to feel a bit breathless before this, you definitely should by the end of this minute. Well done if you're still going strong. Phew, second exercise, plie squats. So we need to get into the squat position, and then it's just lifting your heels off the floor. And you'll definitely feel these in your calves by the end of the minute. Very good for your ankle flexibility though. if you feel like doing these barefoot, these are quite good barefoot without your trainers on. Alrighty, you're onto the floor for the next one. Chest press. So grab your weights as well, if you're using them. Nothing more than a can of beans for the littlies. Okay, so you want your legs bent to protect your back. Start with your arms bent and then bring them together over your chest. And then you're lowering just your upper arms down towards the floor. Important to stay comfortable. Good. Back on your feet for the upright row. You'll only need one weight for this. As you can see, just lift the weight up to your chin. Lift your elbows up to the sky so they're like smiley elbows. This is one of my favourites. If you're finding even a light weight, it just gets a bit challenging, pop the weight down, just do the movements without weight. You're still going to work those muscles. Back onto the floor and on all fours, ready for your fire hydrants. So instead of kicking up, this time you're kicking out, working the outside of the hips and the outer glutes. Of course, we have two legs, make sure you do both sides. It's not a massive move. You want to make sure you don't twist your spine too much either. It's all about working the outer hip area. Good. Last one of this circuit, dead bugs. So flip onto your back. Start with your arms pointing upwards to the ceiling or the sky, and legs off the floor and bent at 90 degrees. Then you're going to extend your opposite arm and leg without touching the floor. You want to keep that hover to really work the muscles down your front. Excellent. Tea break time. Keep drinking. And here's your next list of fun. I know you all love the burpees. Okay, we're going to start in a crouch position. Jump back, fully extend your legs, jump back in and jump up. That's 1 rep. Once you've got your rhythm going, try and keep it for the whole minute. It'll be much easier than stop starting. It's my little tip for today. Okie dokie, onto the deadlift. You can do this without weights if you need to. You're going to bend under the hip, keep your legs almost straight and keep your back as flat as possible. Only go as low as your flexibility will allow and keeping your back straight. There is no benefit to having an overarched back. You'll just put pressure on it. So depending on your flexibility, I know some of you are going to get lower than me. Some may have to stop higher up. Not a problem as long as you're feeling the pull in the back of your thigh. Well done. On the floor again, on your back with your legs bent, and you'll need both your weights if you're using them. Chest flies, so gonna lower a straight arm to the floor, try and hover, don't actually lay your arms on the floor, then you'll get the full benefit of the exercise. Right, we're going to flip over, back onto all fours for your renegade rows. Right, so you're going to lift the weight off the floor, and as you do, you can lift the elbow up to the sky, keeping the arm close to the body and squeezing that side's shoulder blade towards your spine. Okay, sumo squat. Bit different to the standard squat. Wide leg stance, wider than hip width as you can see, and your feet turned out. Other than that, keep your torso as upright as possible, and make sure your bum goes back as you go down. You don't have to clasp your hands in front of your chest, that's just where I'm comfy. Make sure you keep it going for a whole minute. Lovely. And last one of this circuit, V-sits. Although some of you know them as little rowboats. So balancing on your bottom again, with extended arms you bend your legs, and when you extend your arms, when you bend your legs, extend your arms. You know what I mean. On this one, if you need a bit of extra support for your back, keep your hands behind you instead of doing the rowing arms. Just support your back a bit more, no problem with that. Just extend the legs. Tea break time. Make sure you're hydrating. Preferably with water. Here's your next list of loveliness. Okay, first up, the mountain climbers. As you can see on your hands, just bring knees up to their equivalent elbow. So left knee to left elbow, right knee to right elbow. Rightio, alternating lunge jumps next. So as you can see, you start with a lunge and then jump into the other leg. Does what it says on the tin really, this one. This will give you good explosive power off the diving block. Try and keep your legs in line with your hips, so it almost makes a straight line from hip to knee to ankle. And make sure when you're landing, try and have both legs at 90 degrees. Finally, try and keep your torso as upright as possible. Rightio, back on the floor. Diamond press-ups. So you make the shape of the diamond by having your hands together under your chest. Now, if you're strong enough, try and do full body press-ups so you're on your toes. If you get a bit tired partway through, feel free to drop to your knees. Try and challenge yourself on this one. Staying on the floor, we're going to do the back extension next. It's going to lie completely flat on your front. Have your hands at your temples, and then you're going to lift your chest off the floor. Now, depending on the flexibility in your lower back, you may be able to get a bit higher than me, but don't over-egg it. You want to look after your lower back. It's not really a massive move, this one. Staying on the floor, we're going to move on to the bridge. Okay, so laying flat on your back, bend your legs, and then you're going to lift your hips up to the sky or the ceiling. You want to try and make a ski ramp with your body and your thighs. So have a little pause at the top, squeeze your bottom, and then lower to the floor. If you want to make this exercise a bit more challenging, you can hold a weight on your hips too. Okay, still on the floor. It's been a good one for lying down this circuit. Leg raises. Laying completely flat on your back this time. Hands under your bottom just for support. And as you can see, you're going to extend your legs and slowly raise them and lower them. Don't drop them on the floor. You want to just hover. That way you'll get the full benefit of the exercise. You should feel this in your lower abs. Very occasionally people feel it in the top of their thighs as well. Woohoo, another tea break. Keep on drinking. I want that bottle emptied by the end of the session. And if you need to refill it during a tea break, even better. It means you're hydrating well. This is our penultimate circuit of stuff. This will work you hard. Starting on our feet, for those of you that know what spotty dogs are. So we're alternating legs, jumping backwards and forwards, and you want the opposite arm to come forward as well as you swing them. So right arm forward as your left leg comes forward and vice versa. And no, I have no idea why they're called spotty dogs. They just are. Rightio, monster walks next. You want to get into a squat position to start off with. And then we're going to move from side to side. Try and stay as low as you can whilst you're moving. That's really important. Then we're working your legs and bottom better. All right, moving on to the floor. Another exercise that does what it says on the tin. You're going to be on your hands and toes for shoulder taps, and you're going to tap alternating shoulders. There we go. Try and pull your belly button in, or just work you a little bit harder. You're trying to keep your body in as flat as possible. Excellent. Back on our feet again for the overhead press. So we're going to start with our arms at a 90-degree angle. You're going to lift the weight up and over your head and then return to the 90-degree angle position. And it's important that you don't drop your arms, or try not to drop your arms, because by keeping the muscles in tension, we're going to work them harder and you're going to develop your strength. Marvellous. Back on the floor for the leg pulses. On all fours to begin with, and extend one leg. There we go. And you're just going to do small movements to make the pulse movement. It's not flapping the leg up and down. You should feel that in your bottom on the leg that you're working. Okay, last exercise for this circuit. Plank with hip dips. So you have to get into the plank position on your forearms and toes, and then you're going to tilt your hips from side to side. Works the side abs or the obliques very nicely. And here we have our final tea break before our final circuit. Keep drinking. Our final gaggle of goodies. So twisted mountain climbers are almost the same as the mountain climbers we did previously, but this time you're going to take opposite knee to opposite elbow. So left to right and right to left. And you can see you get a good twist in your middle. Try and keep your rhythm, not always easy. Okie dokie, up on your feet, ready for the ice skaters. So you're going to take one leg as far across to the side as you can behind your other leg, and then just alternate. Swing your arms if you wish. Jazz hands are always welcome as well. I might have made that joke in the last video. Okay, back on the floor, lying on your back with your legs bent. Dumbbell overhead next. I know this is a favourite of some of you. You're going to start with the weight above your chest and then keeping your arms straight, lower it above your head, not quite touching the floor. You want to hover so that you get the best effect from this exercise. You should feel it all the way down your front like a stripe. Back on our feet for the next exercise, front to side raise. You're going to lift your arms to the front in line with your shoulder joints, and then out to the side and down to your leg, as you can see. Make your movements purposeful. It's not beneficial to flap your arms around. Back on the floor for our clams. You're going to be lying on your side, legs bent. Keep your feet together and slowly open and close your knees. And of course, don't forget to swap sides. And on to our final exercise, the plank jack. So back into plank position on your forearms. You're just going to jump your feet in and out. You want to try and be as flat as possible, but it is much harder on this one with all the movement of your legs. See if you can get lower than me. I'm pretty sure you can. Well done, gang, you made it through another session. Time to stretch down. Have a drink at this point if you need to. And we're going to start on our fronts as usual. So just laying flat on the floor, up on your forearms, you'll get a small stretch across or up your abdominals and your tummy. And then we're going to straighten the arms to lift your body up a little bit higher, and you'll get a deeper stretch down your front. Only go as high as you can. Everyone's flexibility is different, so depending on the flexibility of your back, that will dictate how high you can come on this stretch. And then we're going to come back on, sit on our heels, forehead on the floor, and stretch the arms forward so that you can stretch the upper back, open up the shoulders. Now we're going to roll onto your back and pull your knees in towards your chest. This will stretch your lower back. Rest your head on the floor. Important to do that, otherwise you'll just get a strain in your neck. So we're holding these for 30 seconds each, all these stretches. Okay, 1 foot across the knee and pull in the underneath the leg. This will stretch out your glutes. And of course, swap sides. You should feel a nice pull in your bottom when you do these. Up onto your feet, we're going to do the swimmer stretch first, where you hug yourself. This will open up your shoulders and your upper back. It is important to stretch down, guys, so please do this bit at the end of the video, because otherwise you're going to be sore in the morning at best, or over time you might pull something. So always do the stretch down. And then we swap sides on the swimmer stretch. Okay, onto the calf stretch, and then bring your arms behind as well. So with the calf stretch, as you can see, rear leg is straight. You should feel it in the belly of your calf. Front leg is slightly bent. And by bringing the arms back as I've done, that will stretch your chest out at the same time. And then we'll swap sides, and then you're going to hug a beach ball, which stretches out your traps and your neck and upper back. Okay, going to stretch the hamstrings next. Take one leg forward and keep it straight. You want your toes pulling up towards your shin, and you should feel a nice pull down the back of your thigh. Sometimes it goes into the top of your calf as well. It's a flexibility thing. And of course do the other leg. Okay, onto your quads now. So you pull your foot towards your bottom, doesn't have to touch. Again, flexibility, everyone's different, but you do want to feel the pull down the front of your thigh, and try and keep your knees fairly close together. And then you swap sides. Different viewpoint, just because. Okay, triceps. So you're going to grab one elbow and just pull it to try and get the hand down your back. So don't pull too hard, obviously, just enough to feel that stretch in the back of your arm. Two sides as always, or both sides. And then we're going to just pull the arm across just to stretch the shoulder and the bicep. You don't want to lean on the elbow, so either place your arm between the shoulder and the elbow or between the elbow and the wrist, whichever's more comfortable, and just give it a gentle pull across the body. Shake it out and you're all done. Well done. You've made it to the end. Have a drink, have a snack like a banana or a cereal bar. See you soon. Take care.